calls for a royal commission into the Bondi terror attack have now reached crescendo levels. The calls are coming so loud and from so many sectors of Australian society, it beggars belief that the PM would continue to ignore them. You've got Jewish groups, church leaders, sports stars, there's business leaders, defence and intelligence experts, current and former Labor MPs, not to mention former Governors-General. The list goes on and on. All of these people calling on the PM to announce a public inquiry into how we reached a point in this country where Jews could be hunted like game on Bondi Beach and shot dead in cold blood. Now, that seems to me like the sort of thing a serious country might want to investigate. But if you believe the cartoon in the 9 newspapers today, all of these people, from Dawn Fraser to former Governor-General David Hurley, well, they're all dupes. According to 9 newspapers, none of the people calling for a royal commission are thinking for themselves. No, they're all finger puppets. Have a look at the cartoon, published today in the Sydney Morning Herald and Australian Age by cartoonist Cathy Wilcox. The cartoon depicts an apparent grassroots movement of Australians calling for a royal commission, and the cartoon mocks them. She's drawn what she calls Labor has-beens for a royal commission, and she's even got dogs for a royal commission. Underneath all of them, holding them all up, she's drawn Conservative politicians like David Littleproud, Susan Lee, Jacinta Price, and of course John Howard. So the implication is clear. According to this cartoon, calls for a royal commission into the murder of 15 Australians on December 14 are not genuine. Calls for a royal commission are just a cynical stunt cooked up by the dastardly right, with everyday Australians too dim to notice they're being used. Now, if that was all there was to this cartoon, it would be bad enough. But I want to show you again and let your eyes drift to the bottom right corner of the cartoon, where Cathy Wilcox has thoughtfully included Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu beating a drum. Yep, all those Australians calling for a royal commission into the Bondi terror attack, well, they're just marching to the beat of Benjamin Netanyahu. So let's decode the message because, well, it isn't exactly hidden, is it? Apparently, Israel's Prime Minister exercises some kind of magical power over Australian public discourse. That grassroots movement calling for a royal commission is, according to the lead cartoon in the Sydney Morning Herald and Age newspapers, not a grassroots movement at all. It's a bunch of simpletons being manipulated and controlled by the Jews. According to the cartoon, the call for a royal commission is not legitimate, it's not real, it's not genuine, it shouldn't be taken seriously. Calls for a royal commission into the murder of Jews are just one more example of Zionist mind control. And just like that, you pick up your morning paper and you're time travelling straight back to the medieval village square where someone's about to start shouting about poisoned wells and secret cabals. Honestly, I can't believe 9 newspapers thought it was appropriate to publish this cartoon. The fact that a major Australian media outlet believes it's perfectly acceptable to publish age-old anti-Semitic tropes about nefarious Jews secretly wielding power for their own ends, well, it's not only grotesque, but it's just another reason, as if we needed one, as to why a royal commission is so necessary. So well done to the SMH and the Age. Talk about an own goal. Imagine mocking the need for a royal commission. It's beyond comprehension that they thought this cartoon was appropriate. Tell you what, something is badly broken in this country. Let's play a little thought experiment. If instead of Jews killed for being Jews, it had been, I don't know, gays killed for being gay, or Aboriginals killed for being black, or women killed for being women, or Muslims killed for being Muslim, you think 9 newspapers would publish an article mocking calls for a public inquiry and effectively suggesting the victims were in fact part of the problem? You think 9 newspapers would publish a cartoon like that if it concerned the slaughter of any other community other than Jews, I mean? I suppose at least this cartoon puts to bed the old myth about Jews controlling Australia's media, doesn't it? And what about the tens of thousands of Australians who have signed a petition calling for a royal commission? Are they all being controlled by the Jews? The people of Australia want to understand what happened and what went wrong and how we can ensure radical Islam is weeded out of this country. What failed? Who ignored the warnings? And why has radical Islamist ideology been allowed to fester until it allegedly erupted in mass murder on one of Australia's most famous beaches? Now, those questions aren't political, and they're certainly not an example of Benjamin Netanyahu controlling the narrative. They're the sort of questions decent people ask. It's what we do when the social contract snaps and the government tells us all to move along because there's nothing to see, aside from all the dead bodies lying on the Bondi foreshore, of course. The real obscenity in all of this is not that people are demanding answers, it's that parts of the media would turn the massacre of Australian Jews into an opportunity to push an anti-Israel narrative and resurrect the world's oldest conspiracy theory. Australians don't want a royal commission because they're being manipulated. They want it because they're sick to death of radical Islam being protected while anti-Semitism seems to have free rein, endangering not only Jews, but all of us. And after today's cartoon, can you really blame them?